right, as I'm sure you may know, the Ohio State-Illinois game has been canceled, and this brings up a very interesting situation for Ohio State. The Big Ten set a rule before the season started that you must play a minimum of 6 games, and with the remaining schedule, it would put Ohio State at 6 games. Now, the question is, what happens if Ohio State has to cancel one of these 2 games remaining? This is a very likely situation, and it's kind of crazy to think about, because now you would have an Ohio State team that's undefeated, yes, at 5 games, but still undefeated, who won't be able to play in the Big Ten championship game, assuming that rule stays the same. What happens for the playoffs? What happens if you have a undefeated Ohio State team who became ineligible for the Big Ten championship? Do they get in? And the first playoff rankings was this past Tuesday. I did a live stream. I'm probably going to do another one. And the committee put Ohio State at 4. Undefeated Ohio State at 4. They put Clemson at 1 loss over Ohio State. It makes sense. It's not something crazy. But I thought it was very interesting, because to me, the committee is saying we have not seen enough out of you. And this is something that Ohio State really must have feared when this rule came into place, because now what happens if you can't play? What happens if you can't finish the season at 6 games? Because if Ohio State can finish the season, they will finish undefeated at 6 wins, in a 6-game season. And then they will go on to the Big Ten championship game, and they'll beat Northwestern, and they'll be Big Ten champs. And then, obviously, they'll get in the playoffs. But now, you're going to have the possibility of an undefeated Ohio State team who couldn't play in the Big Ten championship game. You're going to have the Big Ten championship winner, probably Indiana. And you're going to have, so really it's going to come down to probably Alabama, Clemson, and then you're going to have Notre Dame fighting. You're going to have Ohio State fighting. You're going to have the loser of the SEC championship fighting, probably Florida. And Indiana's going to want their spot. Does Ohio State get in? I don't know. I don't. And this is the situation that, you don't really have any answers for, because it's just like there's so many questions to be had. What happens here? And this is the worst case scenario. So not all hope is lost yet, but the problem is Ohio State's cases for this virus is, it's like everywhere else, And Ohio State is in a worse situation than, say, a Clemson, because the Big Ten rules are so strict. Kevin Warren is terrible at his job. Ohio State's really in a bad spot. And, there's a very real possibility that they can't play next Saturday's game against Michigan State. So what happens? Let me know in the comment section what you think. Does Ohio State get in that scenario? Do you think they will be able to finish out the season? I certainly hope so. It's just thinking about it. It's like, man, I don't have a solution. And I can't imagine that the playoff committee is going to be much better, because they've made terrible decisions over the last how many playoffs selections. So I don't know. I really don't know. And this is the worst case scenario, because now you have Justin Fields in his last year at Ohio State. You want to try to win a championship. because the guys you got behind him, C.J. Stroud, Jack Miller, those are great players, but they're young. Justin Fields is an elite player now. Ohio State has elite receivers. They're a young team, but you can only go as far as your quarterback takes you. And that's why Ohio State wants to try to win it all now while they have Justin Fields. Because the odds of winning a championship with a sophomore quarterback, Trevor Lawrence did it as a freshman, I don't know. So, it's an interesting situation, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.